All right, here we go. We got a big night ahead of us. We're going to check out some different grip implements. We've got the Napalm Nightmares. We've got these going on, so we'll give those a little, well, I don't want to say a little because we're going to hard, but we're going to give them a little crank. Then we're going to get over to the wrist wrench. What I'm going to do first, though, I'm going to warm up for my dumbbell rows. We're going to do these for some back lift. And we're going to get the grip fired up so that we can actually test it. Here we go, first set, coming at you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's a 110-pound dumbbell we just kind of jumped right into. So let's shake out the arm. Let's see how it's feeling. We're going to go right back in there. We got to hit another set in a second. We'll go left hand next. My left arm, my left body part, for whatever reason, is actually better at doing these. So I'm pretty excited to be able to do those second. Should be able to have a better experience. But again, we're just going to do 2 sets of those. That's all it's going to take. We're going to get warmed up. Going to get right back after it. Here's what I do. Even though we're testing our grip tonight, I'm going to strap in. This dumbbell has a very, very thick handle. It's actually as thick as a Coke can, a Pepsi can, about 2.5 inches. So if I were to go at it raw, I'd never make the 10 reps. We do want to get a back workout, so we're going to do that. So strap in. We'll hit this one as well. Nice. Got to get 10. Big Circus dumbbell rows. Ready? I brace here to keep some of the pressure off my low back. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up. 10. Yeah, and that's why I use that. Maybe you're able to tell, but this here, this straps me into it, and I absolutely need this. If I'm not strapped into that dumbbell, because again, this dumbbell, it's 110 pounds, and I get it. That's maybe not the biggest weight in the world, but what you're struggling to see maybe on the camera is that handle. That handle is actually 2.5 inches thick. That's the same as an absolute Coke can. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hey, thanks for swinging through. Definitely appreciate that. So, what I'm hitting tonight, hi Clara, Seat IQ. Here's what we're gonna do. We're warming up right there. What you see is a Circus dumbbell. I'll do this, no, I'll leave this. It's actually 110 pounds. We're picking it up like this just to warm up. We're warming up the grip. That's what we're doing. But really, the whole reason why we're here tonight, we're gonna demonstrate this, okay? This is the wrist wrench. We're gonna load a lot of weight on this, and it's incredibly, I'd say almost impossible to get more than 60 or 70 pounds on it because all the weight is hanging on this strap, right? You see the awesome red strap? It's super new, I just got it, so it's nice and shiny. All that weight is gonna be pulling. It's gonna be up to my thumb to pinch it and lock it in place. After we do that, and I love the question, by the way, after we do that, we're going to be hitting this. We're going to hook this up to a bar, and you're going to see me come over here, put one hand on each one, and just try to pick it, deadlift it up. The reason why we do that is we're testing out our grip strength. We rented out the Mall of America June 14th. I don't know where everybody's from. It's not overly important that I know that, but we rented out the Mall of America to hold a huge North American grip contest. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm really hoping that, people find it interesting. Oh no, this stuff will extend your life. I feel very good about that. You got to find what you like and you got to get after it. So here we go. Let me hit that next set. This is what we use in grip sport and lifting in general. You've got your hand here, right? You got to get chalk on your hand. Everything about grip is seeing how tight you can squeeze something, how long you can hold something, right? So we open up our hand nice and flat. We apply chalk. Try to see how it's kind of flattened. The flatter the better, because you can really get that chalk, really bury it in there. And then watch this super counterintuitive thing I'm gonna do. So I've now rubbed it in there. I hope that every wrinkle is just smothered and choking in chalk. Then I go, I do it that way because I want it smeared into all those lines. I don't actually need that much chalk, but smearing really helps. Hey, Angel, how's it going, brother? Good to have you in here. So let me go over there. We're gonna strap into it now. We're gonna give it heck. We're gonna do 10 reps on the right arm. Then we're gonna do the left. And as soon as we're done with that, we're doing this. Some crazy grip antics, shall we say. Yeah, as mentioned briefly there a second ago, we do a grip contest. We're hosting the North Americans next year in Minnesota. And it's going to be awesome. We rented out the Mall of America for day 2. So here we go. Let's do our 10 reps. Anybody know any of these? We've got our easy riddle tonight. I'm tall when young and short when old. And then what I think is a super, like an honestly legit hard one is this one. Let me know if you know them. Up 1, up 2, up 3, up 4, up 5, up 6, up 7, 8, 9, up 10. What I can't figure out, so I'm right-handed. You'll see tonight, you'll probably see in about 5 minutes, when we start testing our grip, for whatever reason, my right, and I know it's dominant, it's just way better, and not a little bit, a lot. I actually can't wait to demonstrate that. But when it comes to doing these rows, again, for whatever reason, my left lat, back, shoulder, they just work. I don't know, they just work in unison way better. So this will be our last set, 10, and then our back will be warmed up, our hands will be warmed up, everything we need warmed up to truly find out how strong our forearms and hands are. And I mean this when I say that. The human forearm, the human hand, pretty incredible what they can do. I've been trying to strengthen mine the best I can. Used to do a lot of strongman contests, hoping to do another one this year. Here we go, let's knock out 10. You'll see I braced right here on my knee to take some of the pressure off the low back. Up, 1, 2, 3, up, 4, up, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Think about it. 10. Perfect. I actually feel really good about that set. The blood's flowing. The grip is going. Everything's firing. It's going to be a great night. I'm pumped about it. Yeah, man. Well, it's a hard riddle. I don't blame people for not knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Gripper Man. How's it going? Check it out, Gripper Man. Gripper Man knows a lot about grip. It's a very good chance. Well, I know he can beat me in grippers, but maybe some other stuff. We just did our rows with our 110 inch replica. We're going to move on to this now. Do you know what this is, Gripper Man? This is the wrist wrench. It's tangled. Straighten it out and throw it back on camera. Here we go. You roll it up like that. So all of the weight is pulling on this side. All the weight's pulling this way. So when you wrap your thumb over it, like I'm doing now, it will absolutely destroy and dominate your thumb. It's like the rest of the hand isn't even there. It's pure thumb strength. So we're going to find a max on that. Once we've done that, we're going to use this, the Napalm Nightmare. These are 2 inches wide. We're going to hook it to a bar and see what we can pick up on it. Because the 2-inch, 2x5 Napalm Nightmare, that's one of the events that we're going to use at North Americans next year. I'm actually hosting that contest. It's going to be awesome. If you train strongman or grip, you need one of these. This is a loading pin. This is a Warren Tedding loading pin for those that know. You absolutely need this. I'm going to demonstrate why right now. And I'll start out light. When things are light, it allows me to drill technique and talk to everybody. We'll borrow the carabiner. So with the loading pin, which we've now loaded up, and a carabiner, you can hook up any kind of handle, any kind of bar to that, right? At which point it becomes its own implement. It's super awesome. I absolutely love it. So we're going to go right in the middle loop, more of a hole, I suppose. I actually got this equipment. I ordered it from Luke Raymond over at Arm Assassin. He's awesome and easy to deal with. I messed up my order. Dude, Luke fixed it immediately and got it to me. All right, what do we got? My God. Unknown 1A. Did you use your phone, bro, or did you just know that? That's sweet, man. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, that's definitely what it is now. The way streams work, other people pop in here, they'll have no idea that he knew that. So watch me attach this. We're going to get after it now. We have the wrist wrench. I don't count the weight of the implement in general. So this loading pin, does it weigh something? Absolutely it weighs something. I'm not worried about that now. What I am worried about are my thumbs. I've been working really hard. For those that have been following the channel for a while, you know I've been working my thumbs really hard. Been doing a lot of axo work. Now maybe what I'll do is, if this benefits people, I could try this. Let me slide my chalk table out of the way. I'm going to compete. I hope to do well. I'm going to compete at King Kong this year. I did it last year as well. I think it's an amazing experience. And one of the events, the first event at King Kong, is the wrist wrench. So that's why I bought one. Chalk, chalk, chalk. Chalky, chalky, chalk. Now we clap off the chalk, we smooth it in. We want to get it on all the nooks and crannies so we get that great purchase. Oh yeah, Brickhouse is in here, that's our guy. So, you wind it. First we'll go this way. Well, let's do the left hand first. Since my left hand is notably weaker. Oh no, maybe I'll be surprised. So you wind it across itself. Just like that. And you need at least one full turn so that this strap is back on top. At which point, here's the difficult part. See where the strap is hanging down? Here's the center. It's coming on here, but it's attached here. So when you pick it up, it's just going to want to slide. And that's what makes it, I have a feeling, extremely, extremely difficult. Anytime you're doing a thumb dominant grip event, always load your thumb first. So I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to stretch my thumb. I'm going to get the rest of the hand on there, but my thumb was placed first, then it's up. Up. Oftentimes in grip contest, you just have to lift it 6 inches. So they'll put a nice little bar here, and when the bar comes up and hits the crossbar at 6 inches, you're good to go. 45 feels extremely hard in my left hand. That's not a great sign. And yeah, this is maybe 10 pounds total. My left hand started acting up last week. Stretch the right thumb. So between it being weaker and maybe injured, maybe not, I'm guessing this will feel better in my right. Yep. Now what they don't tell you about grip until you start training it, and I'm going to show you right now, this might be a live test, a live example. I have no answer for it. What they don't tell you, if you take this plate, let's take a look at this. 5 pounds, right? 5 pounds is nothing. I think most of us feel like 5 pounds is nothing. 5 pounds. When you're relying on your hand to lift, support, close, snap, or break, holy crap, I forgot it. I have a phone book upstairs I want to try to tear on the stream tonight. I can grab that in a second. I used to tear phone books, used to be awesome. Haven't tried it in a while. Honestly, don't know if I still can. But my point is, 5 pounds is going to be a big jump. Like, it may not sound like it, because if you squat, deadlift, power clean, you're probably thinking 5 pounds is kind of a joke. And in those cases, you might be right. That will not be the case here. Because I'm feeling some discomfort, shall we say, as it were, in this hand, I'm just going to take a little stretch. So let me pull my fingers back. When I do this, I'm stretching the top of the wrist into the forearm, but I'm also pulling the fingers back at an angle, so I'm trying to elongate them. I'm tall when young and short when old. That's the easier one tonight. Tell you what the harder is. I actually think it is hard. What breaks when you say my name? I threw this out to a couple people before the stream. I've got some good testers in the audience. One guy got the top one. Nobody got the second. Like, nobody was even close in my test audience. That's how I came up with, hey, this one's probably hard. This one's probably not. That's how it was. I'll apply a little chalk. Keep in mind, when gripping things, you always put chalk everywhere, but where you see the chalk has been removed the most, that's the point of contact that have the most friction. So yeah, we should probably re-chalk that thumb. In fact, we should probably re-chalk the whole hand. We love chalk here. We're just hoping they never do a test to see if it's harmful to breathe in chalk fumes. So the only thing that's slightly off-putting about this implement is that you have to wrap it each time, right? So now I'm wrapping it, getting into position. It's not like a hand gripper, you just grab and go. If Gripper Man's still here, he knows all about hand grippers. Heck, it's in his name. I'm going to lift it straight up. I'm going to try to go to past 6 inches, even though you only need to lift it 6 inches. And I'm also going to wrap my thumb way underneath, stretch the rest of the palm around it. So we got 50 pounds. It felt really hard. I should figure out, I'll do my, well, tomorrow on the channel, I'll probably do my active recovery and shoulders because I haven't done my contrast baths for my hands yet. And Saturday, of course, is the massive gripper day. I'm waiting on one guest to confirm he may or may not make it. But I'll tell you what, either way, we're going to smash some grippers. Right hand, not a problem. I can even bend the elbow. The human hand in general is strongest when, and if you were on the stream the other day, we did the dynamometer, when the arm is straight. So you try to keep your arm straight while lifting all these implements. You might bend it at the beginning, but when it comes to lift something up, please lock the elbow or have the world's slightest bend in it. For example, when I'm doing my hand grippers, I'll just show you right now. I can't stop playing with hand grippers anyways. Hand gripper. When I'm doing my hand grippers, I set it in my hand. And usually if it's a really hard close, if they're easier closes, I go like this, no big deal. But if I'm getting in there, I want to do something hard, I shoot my hand down. You see how my arm is cocked, close to straight? It's because it's where the arm is strongest. Yeah, I don't know how much more weight I can really handle. Do you collect vintage grippers like Warren Teddings? I'm still on the hunt for vintage. Gripper Man, are you being serious? Gripper Man, I will show you a gripper I have. You won't believe it. Let me hit one set. Do not leave. Here's the hint. It quite literally may be, so says Matt Cannon, so says a couple other people, the rarest gripper on earth. Yes, I said that. Yes, I meant that. All right, well, hang tight. Let me hit just one more set on this. Oh, hi. Yeah, hey, thanks. That's actually who's the smart guy? Somebody said something smart. Muhammad Fiaz, how'd you find us, man? I hope you stick around. Yeah, silence. I've got another riddle. I'll give it a little more time. I'll throw it up there. Brother, you're right. That's a great guess. Silence. And JM20M, thanks, man. Hi, and thanks for being here. When testing out a new implement, I use my super informal, but for me, super fun notepad. Right? It's embarrassing to even show it on here. So we're doing the wrist wrench. We just got in the right and left. 55, 55. Liar. That's only 50 pounds. Left hand, that felt really hard. So we're just gonna make a 2.5 pound, let's just make a 2.5 pound jump. The other thing, the Gripper Man on here, I've got, I think 32 or 29 or something Warren Teddings. Everything from the one I'll show you to some hardcore old school ones, hardcore vintage ones. In fact, I think one of them's might be back here in my pile of grippers already. Oh, here, I'll grab a different one. I'm stalling to let my left hand recover. Take a look at these, bud. This isn't the one I wanted to show you, but it's the Elite. Comes at 178, so you can close it, I can't. It's the Thor edition. Here I have like 7 Grandmasters, so I'm going to sell this one at some point. GM Grandmaster. It's a Thor. Comes in at 143. And then here's the World Class. World Class is the hardest one before you truly get into what are called the big springs. So you could still own a World Class, which is an impossible hand gripper, by the way. but it still wouldn't be considered a big spring. We bumped up the weight. I'm going to chalk up. I think I'll get this left hand, but I have to be honest. Left hand doesn't feel great. So I'll re-chalk. Muhammad, that was a sick guess that you got that, man. Or maybe it wasn't a guess. Maybe you've heard this joke or riddle before. So we'll chalk up. If I get this, I'll be pumped. Just to be totally honest. What makes the implement so hard is that this red strap that I'm winding, it comes down on one side. So it wants to unwind the weight in this direction. I have one hand here, 4 fingers, a thumb. My thumb is strong, but not stronger than the 4 fingers, so all the stress will be on this thumb, and it'll be up to me. This is going to be tough. To get at least 6 inches, which would be a GSI lockout in most cases. Okay, maybe I'm just more warmed up. That wasn't bad. I'm going to skip it with my right hand because honestly, it wasn't bad. But what did that tell us? We got 52.5. The other thing I should mention, I think I should mention this. I was talking, who was I talking to right before we went live? One of our buddies on here. We'll go to 55 now. God, I'll remember eventually who I was talking to. And saying that oftentimes I'm okay not hitting big numbers the first time I try something. I really am. I'm tall when I'm young, short when I'm old. Because I like the idea of getting a decent number, but knowing next week I'm going to remax, coming in and thinking, yeah, man, I got this. I know there was more in the tank last time, and that just gets my training kind of to that next level. We'll step into the other room. I'd love it if I came back and somebody could answer those, by the way. I have to get something for Gripper Man. He's been patient. This is a hardcore vintage Warren Tedding, which I maintain, because I've been told this, might be one of the rarest grippers in the world. You could probably make a case for why it is and why it isn't. Now we're retrieving it. I'll show it after this set. I do want to hit this with my right hand right now because the right hand hasn't been under tension for a second. So we'll chalk it up. We'll crush it. This shouldn't be, by the way, this shouldn't be a problem for my right hand. I always over chalk to start. I do that because I want chalk on all my contact points. Then I clap it off because I don't want so much powder it feels like I slip. Like I'm not truly locked in on the implement. Again, right hand shouldn't be much of a problem. We almost did our gripper. So before I do heavy grippers, I'm always like, I can't believe I'm already doing that on this. Thumb is on first, it's wrapped. Rest of the fingers up. Okay. Go right into that left hand. Left hand just hit the 52.5. It's probably 10 pounds heavier, the weight of this, the weight of the implement. I just count plates. In a training session like this, I'm not too worried about what the hardcore number is, as long as I'm consistent. And as you can see, that's pretty close. Let me make the note in the old training journal. So we got 55 each hand. It was very hard in the left hand. Probably approaching failure. But I feel like the right hand had more. All right, Gripper, do you have really big spring? I had a Hercules. I sold it off topic. What's your camera mic setup? Or the Galaxy? I had a couple Galaxies. I sold those. I just have a nice Hollyland mic and just a basic tripod. So this is the Silver Crush prototype. When Randy Strawson of Iron Mind decided that he wanted to start building hand grippers, he was working with Warren Tedding. And they wanted to come out with, at first, just a couple different strengths. So this one is modeled, this is today's number 2, if you go by spring diameter. There are no stamps. Here, I'll go like this. You can see it. There's no stamping, there's no clear marking. You have to go by the wire diameter of this, what would be a number 2. Now, it looks like a Tedding because he designed it. This is a chrome spring. They don't use those. Now that I think they use the GRH oiled, well, they didn't then. These are steel handles. You'll have to take my word for it. That's not what makes the gripper interesting. That's not what makes it interesting at all. What happened was they were going to make a hand gripper, and they thought they would spot weld the leg. So this part is called the leg of the gripper. They were going to spot weld it to the handle. What ended up happening is when they did that, all that extreme heat, it weakened this spring so much, it actually deformed it. So they had to go out to somebody who understood a little bit more about the manufacturing side. And that gentleman said, you know what you need to do? Pump a little hole in it, drop a little hole in it, punch it right through, and then you put the set pin in there. This one you couldn't take out. Most gripper set pins you can. This one you can't. It's been in there too long. And they misdrilled once, misfired. They've got it in crooked and cockeyed here. For comparison's sakes, I'm going to grab a number 2 that you might see on the market today. We'll just grab this one. This one is rated a 96. You can look at the difference. So the width is day and night. They've since brought the width in. But this is the original prototype. This was the first number 2 ever made. This was given to the third gentleman who advised on the project. It was given to his son. His son received this one, the number 2. His son received the number 3. Number 4 is now over in Europe. I believe, God, I knew this and I forgot. They call it the Phantom. I think the Phantom, no, I don't think David Horn has it. I think it's someone else. I could be wrong. Point being, this is like the first original hand gripper. It's pretty cool. A couple people valued it. I got offers, valued it between $2,000 and $2,700. I did not pay that. I wouldn't pay that for a gripper. I've paid a lot for a gripper before, don't get me wrong. I just wouldn't pay it for that one. So my thought is, may not be truly the rarest ever, but I mean, it might be. It's up there. If the legend is right, they made that one a couple moments before they tried the number 3, as I understand it. So I'm guessing that in that sense, it's slightly older, which maybe that adds to the value. By the way, we're still working our wrist wrench. Our left hand won't be able to handle this 5-pound jump. There's no way. I'll try it. But let me retrack what we have on here now. Come on, sucker. 45, 55, 60. I'd really like to get 60 on this. I think it's doable. We are going to find out. If I get this, we'll make another jump. I'm happy with my 55 in the left, all things considered. So we wrap it. These red, what do you call that? Straps. Yeah, straps. They have to go, when rolled, directly over where they're fastened for it to be a legal lift. And you need to do it at least once. I've done that. I'm going to wrap my thumb on this. This is not the grip. You can get a grip tape version. This is the 2 3/8 non-grip tape version. This is what they'll use in King Kong this year. King Kong, the International Grip Contest. 1, 2, 3. So that felt pretty good. Hopefully it looked, I'll try it in my left. Like I said, this week I've had a little pain in the old left hand. Inside 2 digits. Nope, it's not there. So I think it's a lot of thumb. I also think I lack proper forearm strength to just give this a hell of a lift. Because that felt pretty good, I'll bump a 5 on there. So 45, 55, 60. Now we're at 65. I still think I'll get this. I should mention, when trying out new equipment, I am absolutely obsessed with micro jumps. Even if I burn my grip out a little quicker than I should, micro grips are pretty much the most fun thing ever. Hey, new folks in the chat, because I know how these work, people jump in and out. Anybody got an idea? I've only had one person get the top one. Only one. Who can be next? So the right hand, 45, 55. We got 60. Left hand is staying put at 55. I write down what I tried, what I got, what I didn't. I circle it if I got it. If I didn't get it, I circle it, and I put a line through it. So we're going to go up on 65. I don't need much of a rest. I'm going to hop right in. there she is, the wrist wrench, the real deal. I should say this. Oh, you know what? I do have some other rare ones nearby. Which ones are you trying to find? You asked about the Hercules. Are you hoping to find the Hercules of the galaxy? I could maybe help you. Well, no, the guy I know. So I bought those and I traded it to a guy in Russia. And he gave me some pretty unique grippers, one of which I'll show in a second. So we made a 5-pound jump. That's appropriate. 5-pound jump is good. Let's see what we can do with that. Stretch the thumb on first. Get it in your head. Anytime you're doing something thick, the thumb is the weak link. Get that on there first. Make sure it's comfortable. Why make the strong side comfortable only to throw the left one on there? Barely. That's what we said earlier, right? 5-pound jumps are killer. All right. Well, we got 65. We'll just go 2.5. I'd like to get the W. Something I generally... Hey, Brickhouse, have you done a lot of grip training? I know you've done some. I try to stress like winning the workout, and all I mean by that is rather than going for the home runs, like when the 45 is like, oh, it's pretty easy, let's slap another big weight on. I'd rather do small jumps and get the mini successes along the way, build my confidence, rather than make a big jump, kick it, or miss it, be upset, feel like I stubbed my toe on the momentum, and then just be frazzled. These little mini jumps as I get older, they really build up the head, and I don't know, it's allowed me to keep making these small gains. I got back into grip 2 years ago after certifying on the number 3 and some of those other things, so yeah, I don't know, it's kind of where I'm at. The bottom question on the whiteboard is, yep, nice. Okay, that's too easy. Then I will, 1 second, I'm going to go right after this right hand. I'm really excited to try the Napalm Nightmare. That's the one I think I'll have more success with. I'll put the other riddle up in about 2-3 minutes here then, because I am curious if people can get that. So we got 65. Awesome job. We're going to crush over. We went 67.5 now. Here's one. Here's a verbal one. If people like verbal stuff, people are clever enough to stick with this. Let's try it. There's 2 of them I want to do. Which one do I want to do first? I'm heavy when I go forward. I'm lighter when I go backwards. Heavy when I go forward. I'm light when I go backwards. So that's kind of like a verbal one. Let's see what people think of that. Now is a good time when I'm taking a small break. So we were talking about grippers a second ago. We're actually talking about them a lot on the channel. This is one of the Warren Teddings. Classic Warren Tedding is, if you look here, he's got that pin. He pinned his handle. Iron Mind, a lot of the other ones, GHP collection, they used glue. They glued the handle to the leg, which is, it's a fine way of doing it. There's nothing wrong with that. Warren just didn't do that. I actually had a close personal relationship with Warren. I lived really close to him. I would sell his equipment on my college campus, and he'd pay me out on the weekends. And then this one has the G and the M. That stands for the Grandmaster. He has different levels of strength on these, right? Grandmaster was one of them. It's harder than the Supermaster. It's easier than the Elite. And near the end of his life, or when he was throwing grippers together, he came out, he started calling his the Thor collection. Thor, and that's what you see, the long extended top on the T and the Thor. So this Thor, here we go. Hey, if you ever can't make a hand gripper show on the channel or on your streams, guys, a little hack is you bring it close, right, but you have to put your thumb underneath it. That'll teach it to focus. So you put it here, nothing, nothing, nothing. Hey, there's my thumb. It'll allow you to show it. And it's 143. That 143, what that means is it takes 143 pounds of pressure to touch those hands together. So the human hand would have to close with that. Let's try this wrist wrench. I think I will... I know one thing. I'm either going to barely get it or barely miss. There won't be a lot of in between. And this is what we'll use for the training number going forward. Should be beatable. It's really hard sometimes to try to get a good number when you don't know what you have to beat. Some packaging. Let's get rid of that. Napalm Nightmare is the one I'm really excited to try. Slide that thumb on. Really bury it in there. Go straight up. Oh, yep. Actually, that wasn't so bad. Well, all right, well, let's go to 70 pounds. I mean, the world record on this, but I think that's the record. Come over here. Really nice vintage collection. Yeah, like I said, I've got, I don't know, 25 or 30 more in the drawers in the other room. We got the 675. What I'm going to look for now, I'm slightly annoyed that, hang on a second. Let's just come over here. So we've got hand grippers coming out of everywhere. Got the hand grippers there. This is our calibration machine. We'll probably use it on the channel last night. It tells us how strong a hand gripper is. You slide a handle in here. You fire up the scale. God dang, I love this thing. And then on this side, you wind it. It pulls that cuff, which is attached to the handle, closer and closer. When they just are about to touch, that's your strength. We've got some hand grippers here. Most of them are in the dresser in the other room. I'll dig underneath those in a second. There should be a really cool vintage one. I'm just not seeing. Boy, it has to be here. These are the red ones. Those are, and the green ones. Those are the GHP collection. They're pretty rare. They only made the color grippers for a second there. And no, those other grippers aren't here. Well, that's cool. That's neat. Well, it couldn't have gotten far. It's a gripper. Sometimes my daughter comes down here and plays, and she politely, I'll say politely, rearranges stuff. Holy crap. I'm the real stick. Hey, I'm the real stick man. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it is silence. How'd you get that one? So, before I put these on the stream, I usually text a couple buddies to see what their thoughts are. This top one, two of the people got it, and that's cool. Although stickmen, maybe you don't know what that one is, and if you don't, that's no problem, right? Because I actually thought that was the easy one, because this one I sent to the fellas, nobody got it. I mean, you got it. Very good job, man. It's really solid. So I actually have a really, really hard one. I was going to put one up here. Maybe I'll do it Sunday. But it's like I dispute the answer. I kind of dispute the whole premise of it. I see where they're, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll put it up Sunday. It'll be divisive. If I get this will be my absolute max, I'm confident. 45, 55, 65, 70. Knowing that the world record is 127, this probably weighs 10. I'm probably going for about 80. Yeah, I'll be okay if I get that for the night. Come on, thumb. Don't let me down. We've been doing a lot of thumb training on the channel. I mean, that wasn't even close to going. For context, watch this. For context, mind you. So what we just saw was me trying to get it right hand, right? And it's winding. It wants to unwrap like that. And it abused my thumb. It took it for a ride. Here, I won't even use my thumb on this side. If this strap, if it has to go against my palm, I mean, I could have a couple 100 pounds. That's nothing. Just funny. It does show that my thumb is clearly, and probably is for a lot of people, the weak point. No, we'll leave this on there. Actually, let's just do a warm-up demo event with this. I think people are going to like the Napalm Nightmare. It's my first time trying it. So it comes with different handles. I bought these handles. They're the square blocks, the Saxon 2.5s. It's going to be at North Americans this year. Yeah, man, ton is it. Ton is the other one. You guys are good at riddles, I'll give you that. So it does swivel in place. Swivel, swivel. And the goal is you pinch it in one hand, you pinch it in the other, and you just stand up with it. I mean, easier said than done, I would say. This is not much weight. I tried this once a couple weeks ago. Honestly, I don't even remember what I got. But let's try it. Let's see what we work up to. This should be doable. If it's really light, I like to do a couple reps. Let's do one more. Up. You're seeing, if you're paying close attention, you're seeing I'm doing this with my hands. I'm angling them back. Totally allowed. Nothing wrong with that. So, we need to add more weight. That was kind of a joke. I'm assuming I can add 45 pounds, right? Does anybody think 45 is too much? I mean, I personally don't think it's too much. I think that's right in the wheelhouse. It's probably still a warm-up. We do a lot of lifting in the basement. This is where we go live from. We go live every night. If it's on the weekend, it's usually between 2 and 4. Our window. If it's on the weeknights, like tonight, it's usually 6:30 to 8:30. I could be more precise. Hey, gripper man, check this gripper out 1 second. I could be more precise if I didn't have, the 2 kids. So look at these. These are interesting, I think. This rates at 135. This gripper rates at 135. So same strength hand gripper, right? Everybody, people track that. One is the Iron Mind 3, one is a 2.5. In my opinion, and I'll show it. Line it up. So they line up. This one's just slightly wider. I think the 2.5 is actually harder. In my opinion, the 2.5 is harder. 45, not that much. Yeah, I agree. I should be able to knock that out. So let me chalk and go right into it. Some fine work on the riddles tonight. What this tells me is I need to do my harder riddles. I have a never-ending list of riddles. One more. I'll just reposition, regrip everything. Still not that much weight, but we do have the problem. That middle finger on the left hand feels like trash. Kind of wish that wasn't the case. I don't want to back off training. I don't think I probably have to, but I don't want to. Knowing that was harder than I wanted it to be, let's make a small jump. Let's just go 25. I should still definitely be good for this. There's nothing about this that should shut me down. But you never know. Grip is funny, man. Grip is super funny like that. All of a sudden, you can be the king of the world, everything feels great, and you just bump it up a little bit, and then it's not there. Let's keep the riddles on there. I'm surprised how well everybody's doing. So on the Napalm, we don't count the weight. We got that 90. The 90 felt really good. I had no problems with the 90. So we're going to chalk up. Probably do it right now, to be honest. We'll chalk. We'll go right for that. I don't think that those reps have taken so much out of me that I need this massive rest or anything. Again, a little concerned about what's going on with the left hand, so let's just stretch that finger a little bit. Icebox Jim, yeah, man. Howdy, welcome to the chat. You're always welcome. He's somebody that I have bounced my riddles off before. Icebox, do you know either of these? It's cheating if you use your phone to figure it out. Joe Peterson. Oh, hey, Joe Peterson. Nice. Hey, Joe Peterson and I, we hit a hardcore eating challenge yesterday against this crazy influencer. It was so fun. The first thing we did the dumbbell rows. The first thing we did was off camera. Use your Christmas present. I did a buttload of chins inside my house. Then I had a couple sets of rows with that. But then we did the wrist wrench. Love the question. In my left hand, in plate weight, mind you, I got 55 with some room to spare. The right hand got 67.5, and I thought for absolute sure I was going to get more weight. And then, you know how grip is. You add a small amount, you get crushed. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't handle it. Joe, what did you get yesterday? After the eating challenge, he came over. What did you get? Do you remember? I'm also getting some funky pain in the left finger. The left middle finger, left knuckle. Obviously, I'm not too concerned about it, or I'd shut it down. Here's how I'm going to place my hand. This implement moves around a lot. And my goal is to get the best grip I can on the implement. If I'm not getting a good grip on it, how can I give it a big pull? I mean, you can't give it a big pull then. So what I'm testing today, I'm testing it on the live stream. If I like it, I'll keep it. If this test fails and I'm not getting a good purchase, we won't do it again. I'm pushing down hard because that's locking the implement in place. Getting the thumbs locked on first, then the fingers after. 1, 2. Not bad. We'll do more of that finger stretching because that That actually felt pretty good. What is a reasonable jump for what we just did? I mean, take it off and put a 45, I suppose. Is that fair? I don't think anybody disputes that. So that would be a 20-pound jump. So now we're at 135 in plate weight. There we go. Nice. Again, I'm just annoyed by this left hand. So I'll do later tonight or tomorrow on the stream. I don't know which one. I'll come back and I'm going to hit it with a quad stack. But really what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a contrast baths. I'll set up my 2 Menards bucket. You guys have seen it before. One, as hot a water as I can tolerate. The other one, as cold as it can get. And again, the shower only produces temperatures that at a certain, variance level. So we'll see, but I will dunk them in and out. Hey, Karina Minacheva, hey, Bernard. Second one is silence. Yeah, dude, definitely right. Oh, so you got 50 in the, oh, nice, man. You actually had some good ones. Can you do a 4 up on the Kevin Crush 2.5 with number 3? If so, how many? When you say full rep, again, let me get I keep this one, this Iron Mind guide. I keep it handy so I can do demos when people ask questions. I want to figure out exactly what Gripper Man, who knows a lot about grippers, means. I'm assuming when you mean full rep, are you meaning like no set? Just like that? Hey, just pick it up and just go like that? If you just give me that, or do you mean, hey, no, you can throw it in however you want, but you eventually let it open up wide and then go? You clarify that point, I'll give you an answer. Because what he's asking is a great, it makes a massive difference, right? A lot of people, and this is how I used to train them, I didn't know any better, I'd set it super deep, and I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. People call those clicks in the grip community. They're not real reps. My left hand, even if I set it to here, it's open more than parallel, but still, is that really a full grip? A full rep range? A full rep's not clicks, no set. Last time I lifted 2.5, 150, wasn't quite maxed. Man, I'm liking this feedback. Good feedback. Well, let me show Gripper Man one gripper, and then I'm going to hit that set. So I don't know if this counts. So this, okay, so that's 116, the strength. That's how much pounds of pressure it takes to touch the handles together. I want to be clear, I cannot table no set this. Now, if I'm allowed to put it in my hand, and this isn't what you're asking, just for other people, and to make the distinction, the clarification, if I'm allowed to hook my fingers, and it's just a gripper day where I've warmed up on grippers, I mean, at that point, yeah, I can shut it. I've never tried credit card closing it. I think I could. I'd tell you what, like I always say, I'd either be really close or I just missed it. DJ Blodgett. Hey, man, nice. Yeah, right? It's silence. DJ, can I ask you one thing, if you have just a second? All right, take a look at this. In your opinion, I said that this was the hard one. What breaks when you say its name? I thought that was harder, and you just said it. You said silence. I thought this was the easy one. I might be wrong. I'm tall when young and short when old. DJ, and again, sorry to call you out. I'm just curious. Do you know that one? I'm going to chalk and hit this napalm. Eric, the 150, huh? Nice. How much did you have left? How much space do you think you had left? Hey, we're fighting this. I have some decent pain forming here in this knuckle and in this knuckle. Anytime I try to squeeze too hard, like right there, it feels like trash. If for some reason I try this and it feels absolutely awful again, I might shut it down and be super frustrated. But sometimes I just try to squeeze my way through things. We're all more than welcome to debate if that's smart or not, right? That's fair? So, the technique we're testing on YouTube Live. You put your napalm down. So you could try to hold it up like this and get your hands fidgeted. I think that's stupid. I'm going to press down decently hard, right? Some body weight. Now it's all of it. I'm going to bury my thumbs in. I'm going to wrap the other fingers only after I secured my thumbs. I'm going to slowly add pressure, angle my hands back, and what you probably saw, what I felt, did you see it slowly coming out of my left hand? I couldn't squeeze anything with this middle finger. Let me try some light gripper reps. I want to make sure and try to figure out what is and what isn't working. So put it in here. Okay, that doesn't hurt. So this is what Gripperman was talking about. He was saying full reps. A full rep, you just grab that sucker and you just shut it. It's a very good way to train your grippers. That's not bothering my left hand at all. Let me put just 10 more pounds on there. It's just if I apply pressure right behind that. That's cool. We'll shake it out. We'll figure something out. Here we go. I am tugs. Yeah, he's right. I am tugs are super smart. Do you guys know what I am tugs are? I am tugs. So if you take a gripper, it's got a little different spring. If you half the handles down to here and made them thicker, they're kind of designed so you can do 1 or 2 fingers at a time and not have this whole big handle. And this is my brother Joe, I know. Some of us actually go like this too, and you try to hold them and fight it to work the thumbs. And he just told us, even though he hit grip yesterday, he put up some decent numbers on these things, he's still working his thumbs out today. It's just a little harder for him. Guess that makes a lot of sense. Maybe another 10. Yeah, I'll add 10. I think 188 on the 3x4 is super solid. What are your thoughts on using the 6 o'clock grip for the grip? Oh, God. These are people who know stuff. Bald me through. How you doing? I'm good. Yeah, man, I'm free. Ask away, Daryl. Good to have you here. I'm just going to chalk up. I'm going to try this attempt. Regardless, if this goes well, great. Fantastic. If it doesn't go well, I just go right into my thick-handled forearm work. That's what we usually do after some of these. Whoa, do you guys see that? Jacob Boyer, who I don't think has been here before. He somehow knew them both right off the top of his head. And we had the other guy, another gentleman just answered him too. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw out, DJ just said, I'm going to throw out a verbal one. Gripperman got this. So somebody asked us this on the live. It's neither of these. We're going to add 10 pounds. I'm heavier when I go forward. I'm lighter when I go backwards. What am I? Heavier when I go forwards, lighter when I go backwards. I know if my left hand wasn't being super annoying, I'd be able to get this. We just have this knuckle and this knuckle that aren't really participating. But we're going to give it heck anyways. So push down on the implement. Wrap those thumbs first. Start squeezing with the fingers. Angle the handle back. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, no pain. I just got lucky. That's what we call lucking out in the business. So my goal, I just need small wins, right? Try to win the workout. Get little W's along the way. Let me just make a 5-pound jump. So people just joining us, we're at 45, 90, 135. Then we have 10 more pounds. So that was 145. Not really a big weight. We're just kind of seeing where we're at. So now we're at the 150. If my left finger doesn't hurt, I think that's a home run. I honestly do. I'm not going to guarantee it. Guarantees always come back to bite you. I think we all know that. I think he knows it. Candle in silence. God dang it. Yeah, you guys are good. Yeah, nice, Jacob. I like the riddles wrapped in enigmas covered in secret sauce. Yes, right? That's exactly right. I feel the same way. Oh, first we got to talk about what's the 6 o'clock grip for the grippers? The 6 o'clock grip. I mean, I feel like I know a fair amount about grippers, and I might just be spacing out, but the 6 o'clock grip. Now we're pirates or explorers. So this one came with the Napalm. When you buy this handle just comes with it. It was so awesome. We did a massive eating contest yesterday. My brother and I, in 20 minutes, we ate just over God dang it. Yeah, like 7.1 ounce, I think it was, of sandwiches. We took on a YouTube sensation, Bandana Eats. The two of us together got a little over 7. He got a little over 6. I get it's cheating, there's 2 of us. But it was awesome. Then we came home. We had an awesome box here from Arm Assassin. Luke makes the sickest stuff. And we just busted and broke into that. Here we go. So these come with it. When you put those on your implement, it becomes rolling handles like rolling thunder. What you see there and seen, what you see there is the Napalm Nightmare attachment. It's the 2x5. Okay, so they're here. It's not like they're heavy. I'll just bring them over. See this? You see that? It's 2x5, and they swivel, and they're really fun. It's like a Saxon bar. So yeah, we made a small 5-pound jump. That's the one I bought. I'll get more handles eventually, but again, North Americans next year. This will be contested at North American GSI contest next year. It's the Grip Championships for North America. That'll be at Los Campeones, the gym. And then day 2 is at the Mall of America. It's going to be pretty super sweet. Holy crap, Raptor boy. Yeah. How did you get that? I don't understand. I scored well on all my tests, all through everything. Not as smart as my brother. He scored way higher, but the riddles, I can't make my head work on these riddles. And then this guy, Raptor, plus, I'm a visual person. I need to see things on a board. So if someone reads something to me, no, I can't get it. Yeah, you're right. How'd you get that? Hey, Raptor, did you get the other 2? Normal grip you had was the 12 o'clock. I found it a little easier to grip. I have smaller hands, though. You break wind when you say its name. Yeah, that's really nice work by him, right? Like, how the hell did he know? Sorry, I try not to do that even though it's not a big deal. How the heck did he know that? I'm impressed. Icy Truth has one. You break wind when you say its name. I have absolutely no idea what that is. I would love to know. I mean, don't tell us yet. Let's see if someone can guess it. Let me try this. We made a 5-pound jump. I think we're good for it. It's 150. I guess it comes down to whether the hand hurts or not. Oh, Eric is Icebox Gym on here. Sweet channel as well. Icebox Gym, if you want to follow him on YouTube. Sick dude. He invented a product, I won't do it justice. Eric, what did you invent again, and what is it called? He essentially invented a product very similar to this. It's like patented and everything. All right, push down, wrap the thumbs. Squeeze those fingers, angle the hands back. Got it. We'll try one more. That was 150. Finger hurt. What I have noticed, and I guess not a big surprise, right? So you see me go over there, you pinch it. So in grip, in climbing, anytime you're saying pinch, it's literally what you think. It just means that you're using this. I wish I had bigger thumb. I call them thumb biceps, right? Isn't that a cool name? Maybe not. I wish mine was like this big. It's not. But when you start involving that heavily, it just pits the thumb against these fingers. Spoiler alert, these fingers are always going to win. Not most of the time. They're always going to win. So this pinch is really a test of the thumb. So yes, I'm complaining that these fingers hurt, and they do. But boy, if it was this thumb, I'd be absolutely toast. I better start taking better notes about what I've lifted. 135. I did get the 150. Raptor was nice. Silence. Yep. I'm still trying to figure out. I don't think he's trolling us at all. It's called You Break Wind When You Say Its Name. I got to think on that more. So we're gonna demo what our guy said, DJ. So here's a hand gripper, right? The way I normally grab it is like this. I honestly think most. Oh, I know what he means. Hey, I'm gonna show it right now, DJ. If you're still here, man. Whoa, no rules. You got it too. Am I just mistaken? I'm not getting a lot of responses to this one. That's fine. Is this one actually easier than that one? Is that what's happening here? Because a lot of people are saying silence. I've only heard 2 right answers. Gripper Man was one of them. And now I know what DJ means. I just had to pull my head out. So look, normally the way you grab a gripper is just like this, straight up and down. We call it the 12 o'clock. Thanks to him, we now know we call it that. Rep, rep, rep. Now what you're seeing is my stronger fingers, this one, middle, are higher near the spring when they're engaged. Kind of a problem with that is you would like stronger ones down here, right? This is where you get your most leverage. So you're going to have more impact if it's down here. What he's talking about, and this is interesting. This is super interesting. I've not thought about this. I rarely do this. Look what I've done. 12 o'clock. DJs has to be what you mean. I flip it down. Now I wrap. Now I'm closing it like this. See the difference? Obviously, it's on the screen. Close it like that. What was the question you were pairing with this? Were you saying, have I ever tried it? Were you saying, do I think it's easier? You had a question. I don't want to ignore your question. I just can't remember what it is. It was a banger. Oh my God, why so... There are some really smart people. I can't believe this is happening. Why so zero? He said something. You know what? I think he's right. So I was looking for candle, but honestly, pencil. Pencil would work for sure. Wouldn't it? I'm tall and I'm young. Hey, well done, man. I'm glad you dropped in here. We throw these up 2, maybe 3 times a week, the riddles, but nobody's ever come up with a different answer for one. That's pretty crazy. And then you got your guy, Mass Mayhem. Yeah, candle. That's the traditional one. I mean, that's what I would have thought. Do the easy one, as I have 2 hands. Oh, I know that one. Yeah, DJ knew it too. I guess you guys know a lot about riddles. I'm very impressed. I'm finding a lot of the ones you guys... The one about the one I can't get, you break wind when you say its name. I have no idea what that is. If you want to give us a hint, I bet we would all take that hint. I'd take that hint for sure. So let's reapply the chalk. Our hands. The best way to apply chalk when doing grip. If it's bench press, pry, doesn't matter. Squat doesn't matter. You should always put chalk on, even if you're just going to the grocery store. It's fun. Most people, they just chalk their hand. They don't think about it. And again, that's probably fine a lot of the time. But in grip sport, when you're trying to squeeze something hard, it's literally how much friction, how much bite, how much purchase can you get on an implement. That's kind of what you're testing if you think about it. So what I like to do, knowing the hand has lots of rivers, valleys, plateaus, mountains, whatever other geographical names we can think of, I try to open it and bend the fingers back the best I can. Then I apply slow and firm so that it gets into all those little crevices. Everything here is a contact point. We'll be touching it. If I'm doing a hand gripper, my thumb, not as much, a little bit. But when you're pinching something like that, everything's touching it. And then after all that hard work, I go like this. Okay, so why do I do that? I don't want so much powder on my hand that I feel like my hand is stuck. Stuck's the wrong word. That it's slipping because there's just too much material. I just put it on heavy so it gets in all the right places. Okay, I'm now sliding my thumbs on it. This will be a max. I'll either get this barely or miss it barely. And I'll ask the crowd at home. So in the sport of grip, almost everything, not everything, almost everything is 6 inches. Do we think that move, and Eric would be a good guy to ask if he's still with it. Eric, do you think that's it? Do you set a gripper based off feel, or do you set it the same way every time? I love that question. 1 second. Oh, that counted? Okay. Yeah. You know grip stuff too? You know riddles and grips. Gosh dang, there's smart people on here. I can fly with no wings. I cry with no eyes. Oh, I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about. That's a good riddle. Yeah, I can fly with no wings. I cry with no eyes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not close. Somebody asked an easy one earlier, Raptor did, so I'll answer it since nobody else is gonna. That has to be clock, right? Isn't that the classic clock question? I feel like. So let's count up what we got. We got credit from somebody in there, 135. Then we have 15, so at 150, 152.5. And I can live with 152.5. You missed it, that's okay, dude. Yeah, I'll put it on the board. I think it needs to be more visual, I agree. Let me just make my note about the training. So we got 152.5, and we did get that. So, yeah, let me get my eraser. Our guys got a good one for us. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get it. It feels, I don't know. I thought it was pretty hard, but I don't know that I'm that great at it. So let me just review. That I know. That I know the key one. That's cool, though. I'm glad you said that. That one I know. I like that. I can fly with no wings. I cry with no eyes. This is good stuff, man. Thanks for sending that. So it's I. Yeah, that's how I write. Fly with no wings. Nice. I cry with no eyes. Yeah, this is hard. I think he had something else. On there. What else did he say? He said, I can fly with no wings, I cry with no eyes. Where I cry with no eyes. Wherever I go, darkness flies. I still don't know what this is. Wherever. I go. Darkness flies. I'll check the comments in a second. I don't know what that is. Might be hard to read. I'm not a great riddle mind. Let me try that again. I want to see if I can get a cleaner rep with that. I don't know if I can actually get a cleaner rep. I'd like to try. I'd like to think that maybe I could. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with people's ability to figure this crud out. Yeah, I think it's super impressive. Either way, we got this. We just want to go for a stronger rep. I'll weigh the implement tomorrow. I'm guessing it's 10 pounds with the hand and loading pin, maybe a little bit more. So it's probably closer to 163, 164. Oh, yeah. Well, holy crap. I mean, I could have... So my finger didn't hurt that time. Let's bump it up 2.5. I'll try it again. So, I mean, I could have got this weight on that last attempt. You just never know how it goes. Let me put away the wrist wrench. Not because I don't like it. It's because we're done with it. I'll check the chat. Maybe somebody got that. I fly with no wings. An airplane has wings, so that's not it. Does sunlight fly? I don't think that counts. It doesn't cry. We had somebody ask about gripper settings, so let me grab my quick gripper, see if I can still find that comment on here. Whoa, God, what was it? Saxon bar style version of fat grips. Eric, I know you had that. I want to try it. Do you set a gripper? Oh! He's asking the right question. Here. Let me use I'll bring over this one. This is a fun one. This is the GHP set block. So a gripper, this is a hand gripper. Most people see them, they think of I don't know what most people think. They probably know you squeeze it, but our dad had like a really crappy plastic one, but seemed hard as a kid. These are more industrial strength. This is just about as light as they get. So most people put it in their hand and they want to close it. Makes sense. Problem is, this is a super narrow one. The problem becomes when you grab one like this, the strength is much more. The handles are further apart now. So if you put it in your hand, see how much wider it is? It's a little harder to get it in. I mean, it's doable, it's harder. So what a lot of people do, or what contests usually allow, is to set the gripper. Setting the gripper is just using your offhand, the hand that's not holding the gripper, and reeling in the handle so that you can get all your fingers around it. Then you go for the close. That's setting it. The question is, and I like the question, do you always set the gripper the same way? I will say right now I do set the gripper the same way all the time. One, it's how I've always done it. So I put it right behind that callus line. Those are my, well, they're not cool, but they are calluses. Those are my calluses. I put it there. I cup my hand. So even if I push really hard, it's probably not going to slip. It'd be pretty hard to slip. So I do that. And then you have a set block. I'll demonstrate in a second. Some people use these to make sure that even if they're going like this and setting a gripper in their hand really deep, that it still opens a minimum width before the close. Oh. Or you say, no, that's too narrow. I really want to test my hand strength today. I have to pass this. You pass a set block through the grippers to make sure it's a minimum width, then you close. So I'm always setting it the same way. What might change is the width I use for my setting implement. This does change from time to time. Currently, I'm working hard on the 20 millimeter. I feel like that's showing up at contests. And because I'm trying to get, oh, that's right, I got to chalk up and try this. Because I'm trying to get away from deep setting, which used to be my favorite thing, I thought it would be easier. We just chalked up. I thought it would be easier if I started working with the 20 millimeter set black rather than going piano. So somebody must have asked the keys. Oh yeah, Gripperman. Keys, right. Oh, holy crap. It's a cloud? No, I was never going to get that. I was never going to get that. Hey, Sam Van, nice to have you again. Do I train every day? I do something physical every day. It might just be walking. It might be jogging. I vary it up enough. Sundays are usually the day I'll either do nothing physical or fit in what missed earlier in the week. So, Mondays, push-ups and curls, almost always. Tuesday, hardcore grip day with my recovery, ab work. Wednesday, which was yesterday, I prefer to do my legs on Wednesdays, and I usually get around to it. Thursdays, we do grip. We're going to do a lot of forearms in a second. I can't do a lot for the low back, recovering from an injury. Shoulders are a fun night on the stream. We do some stuff down here. We maybe shouldn't. We've left holes in some of the walls. I like shoulder night down here. And Saturdays are hardcore gripper. So, yeah, we do something pretty much every day. Let me see if I can pull this rep quick. There's some good comments here I haven't gotten to yet. I really want to see what people know. Yeah, let me try this. Then I want to see those comments. I don't know how everybody's so dang smart. Everybody keeps and I should say this. Look, it doesn't say don't check your phones. If you check your phone, there's no shame on you. Kind of defeats the you're only cheating yourself. Kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. But not the end of the world if you did. I'll assume most people didn't. That Raptor guy annihilated them. Maybe he's the human phone. So this is a 2.5 pound increase. Our last set went really well, so maybe this will. Oh yeah. Starting to slip a little bit. Some of you have very keen eyes. So I know you saw it slipping, but no, I got it. Let's see. So that's how I train every day. The loading pin. This loading pin is actually heavier than most. It's around 6.8 or something. Warring Tedden made it for me. He made all this stuff overly hard. I personally go off the same set every time. Yeah, no, I get it. Do you guys see that? This guy, watch this. Gripper man. This is a really hard gripper. This is 178. But he can close it. And if he's millimeters away from a 195, that means this probably isn't even that hard for him. Good on him. What are the rest of us doing with our lives that we can't close that hand gripper? Let's slide this out of the way for a second. Because what I need to do now, what I want to do now, we do this. So this is also a Warren Tedding special. Again, I knew him well, so that's how I have all this stuff. This is 2.5 inches exactly, a little thicker than the Thomas inch. I think that I have weak forearms. To the average person, no. To the average gripper, probably. To the average really good grip competitor, oh yeah. Super weak forearms. I don't think my thumbs are where they need to be. Maybe nothing's where it needs to be. So what I've been doing lately, and I stand by this, I bring this over. It's a little safe I have. We got it from our grandma. We have baseball, football cards, coin collections in there. I have a question for the chat, rather specific around grip training in 1 second. Let me load this up and do a demo, though. Those riddles are sick. Does anybody else have any last-minute riddles on their mind? I'm just surprised. I didn't think everybody was so good at riddles. I promise. Sunday's the next time we riddle. We riddle and we clean our grippers. I'll have some harder ones by then. I use these as my collars. Hey, we're just in the gym. I shouldn't say gym. We're at the home gym, right? But these work just fine to hold it in place. I've had no negative experience with it. We're actually going to get really close on these now. I would love to see if we can get a couple more people thinking they know answers. They probably do, actually. Nate from Canada, my coworker closed number 2 in the second try. I was floored. Oh my God. His second try? Well, that's not normal. There's freaks out there. I hope to meet them, man. When I was younger, I did a lot of strongman. I had my lightweight, pro weight, heavyweight card. It was super fun. This is competitive now. Grip, I like to be competitive, but it's more about having fun and meeting like really awesome people. So here's what I do. I hang it off the edge of this. I roll it all the way down. Then I slowly bring it back up. I have to do this. I got to get these forearms built up. No, I'm not into arm wrestling. I don't care how big they are, how cool they look. I want them to be strong. And I like the challenge of having a thicker handle. I'm realizing that I've set them too heavy. So I'll lighten it before I go left hand. I have 40 pound in plate weight. That was not the intention. I wanted 30. So I want to go high reps tonight. Oh, the question I was going to ask people, if people train their forearms on here, and if they do it with wrist curls, honestly, what do you think about the next comment? Do you guys like your wrist curls? So you bring it down at the bottom, and you can bring it up, right? That's a wrist curl. I think we all know that. Do some people like rolling the weight as far as they can, obviously before it falls out of your hand, and you cup and ring? But do people prefer it that way, or do you just go boom, boom? I'm exceedingly interested in what people have to say. So, not a right or wrong answer. Unlike the riddles, those definitely have right or wrong answers. That cloud one's blowing my mind, by the way. I did not see that one coming. 1, 2. That's the weight I wanted. Now, if I'm ever using just a regular bar or a dumbbell with a regular thickness, I do roll it all the way to my fingertips. With this thicker handle, I just don't do that. If I try to let it roll that deep, it goes like a half an inch and it's already to the point I need to curl it back up. I just don't have the range of motion when it's already that thick. For people that train forearms, I think it's kind of like calves. You have to do high reps usually, and the burning is almost so painful you almost shut it down before you are truly fatigued and out of the game. Let's do one more. Now I'm going to shake and stretch out. Because this demands so much blood flow, because it really gets everything going, I always come across, and in between each set, I straighten my arm. I use my offhand to pull my fingers back like that. I just want to get the blood out. I want all the blood out so I can come back at it fresh. He's 6'4", 230, man. Dang, dude. Yeah, that's a big guy. I don't know that I enjoy these. I guess I've learned to like them a little bit. Oh, somebody asked this. I'm sorry, I didn't see this till now. Is the Rolling Thunder worth it? Seems expensive. I don't think it is. I don't think the Rolling Thunder is anything to be too crazy about. If you want to see specifically how you stack up against other people, like you'd have to have it then, right? It's a pretty specific piece of equipment. But for training purposes, I don't find it entirely necessary. If you have one, it's cool and use it. But I mean, I sold mine. I just thought there were other ways. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the mistake I made, I should have never made. I misloaded. I never used 40 additional pounds on this. And then I didn't even do a warm-up set. I thought, and maybe there's some truth, I was warmed up, but wrist curl is so much different than what we did. I should have just put on 20 pounds, done a dorky little set, got a good stretch before I went after it like this. I won't make that mistake again. Let's try to get two more. Let's try to get one more. Here's a riddle. No, I'll save that one for next time. I don't want to throw it out now. So all right. So this one, easily harder than this one. This one, I had no idea. I wasn't even close. This one is easily harder than that one. So I should no longer have the easy arrow going up, but such is life. Saturday, somewhere between 2 and 4, we're going to go live. We do our big gripper workout. We finished a 7-week program, which I like, and my hands I was closing slightly harder grippers. This next one, I'll do 100 reps on each hand. As many sets as it takes to get there. The trick is, I don't want to use a hand gripper if I can get more than 10 reps on it. So let's say I pick up a number 2 in my right hand, and it's rated at 104. I'm going to be able to do that more than 10 times. So on that first set, if I cross the 10 threshold, you see how I'm fatigued? It's just going side to side. It's just all loosey-goosey. So if in that example, I have the gripper, and let's say I get 15 reps. Okay, fine. All right, 15 reps. But my next set, I need to choose a heavier one. Ideally, I'll find a gripper that's 7 to 9, 6 to 7, 8 reps, something like that. And that's the rep range I want to be in, where hopefully it's taking me 12 to 15 sets to finish it. I used to do that, and I did it multiple times a week, and everybody said it was overtraining, but me and a training partner did it. We absolutely loved it. We absolutely loved it. We got strong off it. So what was the problem? Takes a lot of time, because the specific program that he bought from somebody a long time ago, you eventually have to do that with like 175 reps in each hand, 4 times a week. So not only do you start missing a lot of skin, it's getting torn off by all the knurling. It's a huge time commitment, which, okay, depending on the day, I can sign up for that. But you're really ignoring, hang on, let me do 2 more reps. The problem with, and I love grippers, when you're doing your hand grippers, again, I've said about 17 times I love it, you're not really training your thumb pad. I will say that the engagement that you get on a hand gripper is maybe you're using your thumb here and it's squeezing to help reel it in and set it. Gripper man doesn't have to do that. Or maybe when you're going for those really hard closes, this thumb comes across the top, wham, and helps a little bit. But so much of grip is plate pinching, picking up something thick, picking up something that's revolving, that the thumb really has to get a lot stronger if we want to increase our numbers. My favorite thing is still hand grippers, let's be clear. But when I was only doing those, even though my hand grippers got a lot better, my other gym lifts related to grip, they just didn't get better. So I needed to mix it up a bit. I use regular dumbbells, so I usually do them up and down the fingers. Yeah, I get it, man, I get that. Don't have asked this question before. I don't know if I've asked this question before. How long have you been in? Oh, well, you're making great progress. If you've done that in 3 years, that's insane. The quick story there. I did my first strongman contest when I was 19. The gym that held it there had hand grippers there. I tried the Ironmind series. I got the 1. It was really hard. Wasn't even close on the 2, and I was pissed off I couldn't do that because a couple other guys there could. That's when I was 19. Didn't get super serious. Well, no, that's not true. I guess I did. By the time I was in college, I certified on the number 3, which would have been about the 3rd year I was training. But again, I didn't have to credit card it then. You just deep set it and go if that's how you wanted to. Oh, this is worth noting. When you're doing your grip training, look at my hand now. We chalk it between every set. You see where it's missing? See where that chalk's missing? That tells me that's where the most contact is. That's where the most friction is. And on wrist curls, looks like I'm getting it right here in the palm, which makes sense, right? And the tips of the finger, which are biting in to hold it in place. Not a lot going on in this vector or sector. Hey, we've got a couple riddles up there. Just curious if anybody else can knock them out. Yeah, you came a long, long way. I would eventually get to the point where I could close some pretty hard teddings, like my elite, but that's still a deep set. All right, let's go left side. We have a nice pump, a nice burn going. I really like that feeling. No bodybuilder. Brother just got into bodybuilding. He actually drops in like once every 2 weeks. He's pretty knowledgeable on some of this stuff. He's got a good grip too. So myself and my two brothers were here. They messed around with these implements yesterday. The wrist wrench, which they both liked, and the Napalm, which they both liked. It's good to have the three brothers hanging out together. We were at an eating challenge before we came home and messed around with grip. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop weight on this and do stupid high reps, one set each arm. There's just not much left. So let me grab these plates. So we have 30 in weight. We'll just go 32 and a half. I absolutely am obsessed with micro plates. I think that they are the most fun thing you can do. One of the most fun things you can do is make miniature jumps. And why not? Isn't that super cool? I don't know. I need to get help, I guess. I just think that's really neat. It's really fun. There we go. So let's go into the right to the right. I'll try what our guy Canada said. Again, I'm going to try. I don't think it'll work so well with this thick handle. I'm going to try to let it, well, it works a little bit. I'm going to let it roll deep. I'm taking my thumb off. I know you can't see that. I'm just allowing the dumbbell handle to roll further down rather than having it pinched in my hand. It does feel like it's just going to fall out of the hand. I don't have large hands. They're slightly above average. Everybody knows how to measure their hand, right? So you put your hand out like this, and that first wrinkle in the wrist, the first wrinkle between the bottom of the palm and the top of the forearm, right in the wrist, you measure from there, and then you go to the end of the middle finger. And that's your wrist length. And generically speaking, 7.5 for a man is pretty average. So me, 7.5/8, that's pretty average. Let's do one more. In the sport of grip, having big hands would be awesome. For example, the guy we were training with on the stream, he crushed the blobs. I made a YouTube short about it. He crushed them. They didn't feel big to him. He took the wrist wrench. This is true. Grant took the wrist wrench and he touched his fingers around it. Well, that's nuts. You don't see that every day. I've never seen it. All right, let's get after it. 1. Great. 2. 3. Oh, yeah, that's right. No, you know what? Because my middle finger doesn't feel amazing, I don't think I'm going to roll it into my fingertips. I still like that our guy does that. I'm just not going to quite go there. I hear my 2-month-old crying, giving my poor wife a hard time. Let's do 3 more. 3. I feel pretty lucky that I can come down here, hang out, knock out all my grip sets. Or like I said, tomorrow on the channel, it'll be similar time between our 6:30 and 8:30 window. We're going to do some circus bell lifting. That'll be interesting. And we're going to up the weight on our military press. The difference here, because I have a low ceiling in this basement, I clean everything from the ground and I stay on my knees for all my presses. So it's a little harder than if you were standing. But you make do with what you got. Once summer comes back, we can do more of our strongman lifting. Stones, kegs. I made some cement blocks. They're rectangles. We can work on throwing those overhead because last year I have 4 of them. Wait, do I have 4 of them? No, I have 3 of them. And eventually got pretty good with the first 2. Couldn't quite get the last one. And I'm pissed off about that. There's no reason to fail on that one, in my opinion. the weight I think was like 183 or 178. So, it's awkward, but it's not heavy, it's awkward. And that's what I need to get better at. The pump is pretty insane. What we have going on here. Hey, dude, good to have you, Grip Grandbabies, our buddy. We're just talking about the blobs. So this is actually our guy, Ian. They're all his blobs. He brought them out. He let the guys just toss them around. This is a good time, man. Ian has some crazy equipment. If you want to know anything about hub lifting or the history of hub lifting, yes, he knows it. Yes, he can tell you. He could teach the class. And it wouldn't be a 101, right? It would be some like high level. Well, what's after 101, 202? But what's the term everybody likes using these days and they think they're super smart? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ian, he'd put on a master class. Ian, you see the board back there? Do you know what any of those riddles are? The answers to any of them? I'm curious. We had this guy on here. I don't think he's on there now. A Raptor. There wasn't a riddle you could throw at this man that he didn't know. He just, I don't know what to say. He just knew them all. And that's after a couple of us were able to figure out some, and then people just keep commenting new ones. He still knew them all. And here's the thing, I'm pretty confident he didn't even use his phone. So impressive stuff. Ian's a smart guy, still in college. I like this. So I know not everybody has used this. I really liked our Napalm Nightmare with the 2.5 handles. I mean that. I really like it. I like the swiveling. I was totally into that. I was totally on board with that. Well, most women cry when I try. Oh, God. That's fantastic. That's a good one, Ian. So we hit the wrist wrench. That was after our warm-up. After our warm-up, the first thing we did was the wrist wrench. It's this really, really thick handle. You roll it up like this so that the strap is on top of itself. You loop your thumb in like so, and you try to lift the weight. The reason why it's almost impossible is because all the stress is coming on this end, not straight up and down. So it wants to turn out of your hand, and your poor thumb is left fighting that battle alone. Now, if you have strong forearms, you could cock your forearm. That would help. I don't have those. Then we did our Napalm Nightmare. That was a good time. We got some decent numbers on it. I'll have to weigh my loading pin, but I think we were around, with loading, probably 165. It's all right. Those things are scary anyways. Then we knocked out a lot of the thick-handled work. We got a little pump going. So I appreciate everybody being here, really do. Tell you what, if you had fun here, subscribe to the channel. This is the kind of stuff we do. Tomorrow, shoulders. It's going to be fun pressing things on our knees in the basement. And Saturday, like every Saturday, is a big gripper day. We are going to do an absurd amount of grippers right here. We're going to track, tally everything. We're going to get after it. So yeah, feel free to follow us, hang out, comment, or if you just want to lurk, that's fine too. I hope you learned something. I know I did. Bye.